Okay, how about that great radio station in New York that actually was in New Jersey, WWDJ, which you managed? What was your favorite memory then?
Oh, well, here's a fun memory. I started there in 1974. I had launched a Christian magazine for New York called Alternatives in 1973. 1974, WWDJ switches formats from a rock station to the Christian formatted station. And DJ was my favorite station at the time. And so I did a story on the switch, and that's how I got into radio, into Christian radio and all that, and became involved in the nascent stages of contemporary Christian music. And so I began listening to the music and said to my manager one day in 1977, we should help promote this music by doing a concert. And so at that time, there weren't many Christian music concerts in 1977 in New Jersey because there weren't many artists. The following year, I would do some on my own with Keith Green and Second Chapter and Terry Talbot in the area. And so for that first one, she said, go and put together a concert, which I had never done, but never stopped me from doing anything. I'll figure it out. And so I said, well, obviously I need a venue first. I said, now, where can I find a place, or what place needs the gospel the most? And so I picked the Triple X Porno Theater in Passaic, New Jersey, and so I went to the manager of the theater and said, I was with WWDJ and we would like to produce a concert here. And he said, well, all right. He still thought we were the rock station because we had switched only a few years earlier.
Yeah.
And he said, who's the band? And I said, well, it's Phil Keggy and the Love-In Band. And he
Oh.
said, perfect. I said, no, you don't understand. Not that kind of Love-In. Um, I explained to him it was Christian music band. And those of us in North Jersey who remember Phil Keggy and his band, they were an incredible band. They were smoking great. And so um, October 1st, 1977 is when we had that in the Capitol Theater. I told him we only need you to do two things: take the triple X's off the marquee, and put in Phil Keggy and the Love-In Band, and then either take the pictures of the naked ladies off the wall or cover them up, which he agreed to do. So he covered them up. And so that night, 2,000 people in 1977 came into that hall, and the gospel was proclaimed, and Keggy and his band were great that night. So I went backstage just to see how things were going, and I, always walked around whenever I did any events. And I saw the stagehands who were smoking grass, and it was wafting all through the backstage area, which I, of course, learned to really enjoy some of the aromas back in college. Everybody was smoking. I mean, the hall, the student hall, the union, the cafeteria, the
Oh
study
my gosh.
halls. And so I always told people, well, I never smoked, honestly, but I must have inhaled. I saw the stagehands mesmerized by this music, right? That they were hearing. And that's where I feel God spoke to me and said, this music will change lives. And
Wow.
so little did I know. So I became part of the contemporary Christian music world and scene, and involvement in Nashville with the Gospel Music Association. And I served on that board for 20 years to help, develop the industry and Christian music radio and the Dove Awards and all that. So that is maybe a favorite story of mine that I relate often as to what the people ask me a similar question, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was fun. And I mean, I had a bunch of other fun things at WWDJ during my 20 years there until I started my own company. So,
yeah, Jersey grown. Now you left us. You took off. You left Jersey, and you don't even care about the door closing. and you're now in Tennessee and living the life. And well, wait. So wait, you're in Tennessee. So who gospel music? Have you ever interviewed or spoken to Amy Grant or Vince Gill?
Well, Amy's a longtime friend. I mean, those of
Oh,
us that started in the, we did concerts with Amy there, you know, one at Montclair High, her Age to Age tour. I did at Montclair High in 82.
oh, you did?
Um, yeah. And then we helped her with her Radio City concert, um,
Wow.
back then. And so, yeah, everybody that you can name, we kind of grew up with. Carmen, I was one of the first to use Carmen. Um, and I mean, Carmen was great. We met at a gospel music week event in 1982, April of 82,
Uh-huh.
before anybody heard of him or before he had his first album out. He was just there looking for people to play some songs for. And so he got a hold of me because I was the only other Italian he could find, and he was from Jersey. So he said, "Hey, come! I want to let you hear some music. Can you spare some moments? Come to my room." So we sat down in his room and listened to Spirit Filled Pizza and a few of his other early tunes, and he was really fun. And I said, "Hey, I'm doing a concert with David Meese and Glad next month, May of '82. Um, how would you like to come and just open for me?
Yeah.
You can stay with my wife and I. We can hang out." Um, and so he did. I
Wow.
paid him $200 to open for me. And when the concert started and he came out, I was in the back. And you're always looking, trying to read the audience, what they think.
Yeah.
And once he hit the stage, it was dynamic.
Yeah.
The audience loved him. His 20 minutes, he was the one that got the standing ovation
Oh, wow.
that night. And I could tell immediately that God had his hand on this guy. And sure enough, he went on to become an amazing artist, performer, minister.
Yeah.
And we, stayed friends. He'd come to New Jersey and come see my wife and I and my daughter when she was a baby. And so anytime he would come to New York, and I would bring him in often. Um, so those are tons of stories like that. So, yeah, I love people like Amy who, you know, was the same then when I first saw her in 1978, first time I met her,
Yeah.
to where she is today. Um, and so
She's
I
my
count,
favorite. She's my favorite by
well,
far.
well, she's a lot of people's favorite for a good reason. Yeah.
Yes. Just can
And,
see a good heart. You see a good heart in
she,
her, right?
she does. She's a great heart. Um, and I mean, all of them. Michael W. Smith, great guy.
Yeah.
Stephen Curtis, another great friend.
Yeah.
Um, I was one of the first to bring Stephen in with a concert we did at the Lambs, and then at the AG Church in Wayne on Preckness Ave. I forget the name of it. We did a Stephen Curtis concert there.
Oh, wow.
Um, we did. I mean, I think every venue in North Jersey I used: Ori Denoyer and Hackensack,
Wow.
Montclair High, uh, Performing Arts Center in Englewood,
Uh-huh.
which is
Did you?
where Amy was in December. She came to do her tour at the Performing Arts Center in Englewood.
Oh, I didn't know that. This past.
Yeah,
Wow.
last year, December,
Wow.
um, she was there. So we did Mylon Lefevre there.
Hmm. I don't know who that
Um,
is.
well, he recently passed away, but he was an old rock guy. Yeah,
Okay.
Mylon Broken Heart.
Oh,
If you're in North Jersey and you were into rock and roll, Christian music, Mylon was one of the tops. Great guy. Terry Talbot at Montclair State,
okay.
and someplace in White Plains. I took him.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, we just did a lot of the music and the artists, and many of them I still see now that I'm here in Franklin, in Nashville. I run into them or we do things, and there they are. And anyway, it's
How
just
much
kind of fun.
What kind of a fun life did God lead you to? That's my whole point of this conversation. God has led you
Well,
down roads that like only
yeah.
like that, when people have a dream in their heart and then they let the dream go, there's still a dream that can be had. Don't you agree?
Well, oh, I agree totally. I mean, everything I have has been unplanned. I had no idea where I was going, what I was doing a lot of times. Um, and so I just lie awake at night sometimes and chuckle to see what God has enabled me to be a part of. And so I just encourage everybody to, again, be God's will and lead him and let him lead you and do the things he's called you to.
Yeah.
Um, and then watch how you're fulfilled and led into things that you never knew you would be doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm just fortunate and blessed, of course, to have been involved in these things. And now I see that with all the faith movies that we work on uh, that are out there and the friends that I've developed among those individuals who produce those movies and whatnot.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I still think God reinvents us from
Mhm.
time to time.
Yes.
And I think that's the purpose to mold us for the day and the age in which we live, to
Mhm.
do the things that he can enable us to do.
What sound is heard only by the heart? It is the call. Follow